That's it. That's all I need you to know so we can get started. That's all you need to know. That we are Gucci. We're framed correctly. Okay.
Second.
Hold on, let me move it just a little bit. What did I do? Let's see here. That looks good. There we go. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's go. Let's rock and roll. All right. Oh, you know what? Let me put my this on. And I'm gonna take this off because I'm getting really hot in here. Will you turn the AC? Yeah, will you turn the AC on and then this fan? Jillian, will you turn this fan on right here? Yeah, we just gotta plug it in. That's all we gotta do. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a square perimeter, square layer. So the client used the words lob. Wait, what was the other one that you used?
Midi.
A midi, yes. So I'm gonna cover you all the way. I'm gonna cover you completely. Okay, so again, Jillian and Francis, I want you guys to watch. Take mental notes. I do have this on my YouTube, so for you to review, and then we're gonna do this class in person live as well. So go ahead and put your chin down right now. So with most basic haircuts, we're gonna start perimeter first. I cut perimeter. I usually cut to the feature of the hair, and the reason that the perimeter is a feature for her is because we're talking length as one of our primary objectives, right? So that's where we start there. So when we talk square one length, more often than not, stylists will take all the hair, even in quadrants 1 and 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we'll take all the hair, even in quadrants 1 and 4, we'll pull it all the way back, and we'll cut a straight line. And then they'll try to tell me that that's a square one length, right? Here's the reason it's not a square one length. It is longer in the front, right, than it is here on the nape. So, and I will show you how to correct that. And again, I have swivel thumbs, so that's why I get to cut this way, right? If you don't have swivel thumbs, it's elbow to elbow, that's your cutting line. All right, so I'm gonna have you go ahead and turn your head here. And from there, we're going to use behind the ear as our guide for length, okay? So technically, square one length should have a corner. And why is that? The other side, my love? Square. Because it's a square! If we took a box and put it on her head, there's a corner behind each ear. That's actually the longest point of the haircut is behind the ear. The corner should be the longest. Just a little bit. Okay. So, in theory now, I'm going to move forward. Let me check my balance. I'm still just a smidge longer on the left side. I usually will leave a little bit of length on my second side, right, as a margin for error, because I can always creep into it. Go ahead and go straight forward. Checking our balance. Again, you're going to feel balance before you can see it. So always standing square at a 90 to your client. You can even close your eyes and check balance. So there we go. Can you guys see in the mirror? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Straight forward. Checking your balance. Beautiful. How do you feel about that length right there? We're okay with that? Okay. So we are longest here and here. So we're straight line here, and then we're straight line here, right? Correct? Everybody following? All right, we're gonna take down what's above the occipital in quadrants 2 and 3 here. I'm gonna have you slightly tilt your chin down. I'm just gonna meet this to her length, okay? Length is my guide. Medium tension in between your middle and pointer finger. You are never cutting past your second knuckle, at least not as you're learning. You want to live life on the wild side, you know that, but I have cut the webbing in between my fingers so many times, so just, and it hurts like a bitch, so just use your beware, you know? Not only that, you lose tension. So your best tension in between, your second knuckle and the tip of your finger. And if you have inconsistent tension and you're on your cutting line, obviously, there's going to be more elasticity or spring where you have more tension, which means also is going to pull back like a rubber band so more shrink, you know? There's your corner right there. You guys can literally see the corner. Francis, look. You can see the corner right there. Do you see that? That's your corner right there. All right. So we're balancing the front. Now what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that box that we dropped, and we're going to start taking vertical sections. And depending on the density of her hair is going to determine the width of the section. We're going to let everything below the occipital fall out, right? That under towards the nape, that's going to be the density of our perimeter. We don't want to cut into that. We could realistically cut into that and use this shortest piece as our length. Look at how much length I'm cutting off to cut a straight line up, but it's going to create a lot of layering, and that is more signature of like a shag, right? Or we can modify that to like a wool cut. But for density purposes, we need to use the length of the guide of the occipital, pulling straight out. Maximum tension, 0 over direction, pulling at a 90 from where the hair lives, right? So that is our first cut. We're going to do the same thing, pull a horizontal section right next to our previous. Mind you, we're not over directing to our previous guide. This cut is pulled straight out to a 90. So if I laid her on her back on like a massage table and she hung her head off the side, literally you should be able to see her hair fall from her head and come to a straight line, right? So when you guys start cutting your doll heads, that's how I'm going to check them. I'm going to turn your doll head on its side, and I'm going to look for that box shape or that straight line, right? So you don't even necessarily need a guide from your previous section. You can just keep taking sections, and as long as you know that your length, the guide for your length for your layer comes from that occipital or the furthest protrusion of the head, then that's going to be your cutting guide. So this is like one of my favorite cuts to teach initially because there is no traveling guide, there's no over direction. If you get lost, it's really easy to find yourself, you know, where you're at. Keep in mind, I'm visualizing always my quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, clockwise on the head to keep my place.
Are you taking pie?
No, ma'am. This is horizontal, straight down. Pie I reserve for Thanksgiving. No, for round haircuts, round geometries.
Pie is round.
Because a pie is round. Exactly. And you know what? Here's the thing. In reality, it wouldn't matter if it's pie. It wouldn't matter if it's square, because what really matters is your over direction and your projection, right? 90 from the occipital or the furthest protrusion of the head. Because everything, I could literally take, I'm gonna mess this up real quick, but I could literally take from her crown, pull it straight out at a 90. Look, you can see her crown pieces right here. They're gonna get cut regardless. Actually, they'll end up being shorter than that because I'm gonna swing this up at the apex, right? And I'm gonna use her apex, the length on her apex that I just cut right here, as the guide for what I'm gonna cut right here, right? So, box, box, box. We're even gonna pull everything forward, box, right? We're pulling to our imaginary cutting line. So, I'm not gonna project up yet. I'm gonna start working on the sides. So the same truth is true. We're pulling to our imaginary cutting line that is perpendicular to her head shape. Okay. So I know that this, around the parietal, this is going to be my cutting line here, right? There we go. We're preserving the density and the length, right? Length and the density in the perimeter, very important. Taking our next section, vertical. Again. Add a 90 from the temple, maximum tension, 0 over direction. You're not using a traveling guide. We'll move to the next side here. Same thing. I want you to notice my body positioning, okay? Look at how my shoulders are perpendicular to her shoulders, right? Look at my feet. They're literally in the shape of a square right now, right? Round, we cut those corners off and we round the head like this, right? We're facing her at all times. But when you're cutting square one length or square, your body needs to be at a 90 to hers, depending on which section you're cutting, right? So. Good here. All right. Now we'll move to the top. Furthest point of the head is generally the cutting guide for the crown. If you move your cutting guide down farther, the head, your layers are going to be shorter, right? And it will, like I said, it will start creeping up and creating that like shag effect, almost the short layer on top and on the sides. But that's not necessarily what we're going for. That's just an adaptation of this cut. I'm going to check this again. Right there. Okay. So we are going to cut anything that goes past that guide right there that we're pulling from the apex. I'm taking these same vertical sections, swinging them straight up, add a 90 from the apex now. Letting anything that needs to fall out, fall out. There we go. See that? So here's the only bummer, Brittany, is that I can't give you this like badass, like bouncy blowout because we're doing a smoothing system on you today. Yeah. So you're gonna be straight when you leave. But I know, boo, right? But we do free blowouts in your item by now, so that means you can book a free blowout anytime you want online. And you just get your hair washed and blown out. You don't have to do it yourself, you know? So we'll save that for your next washing day or something. Oh yeah, you said you're like, I don't know why I'm trying to come back in here, but maybe squeeze in an hour for a free blowout, probably. That would be nice. Can we pop the music up just a smidge? There we go. You guys see what I'm doing here. There we are. This side too. I want to check it. Oh my God. I mean, hey, I've done this before, so.
The volume's all the way up on the iPad.
Okay, so turn it down on the iPad like 4 notches, and we'll turn it up from the Yamaha. Yeah, because the Yamaha should be turned up to like 65. That's good. Hey, we turn it up to like 60, 65, and then okay, then I'll turn it down here. Perfect. Okay, so we've done back, sides, top. Now we're doing forward. Okay. What Lumiere? So this is the most common place that we will bring an adaptation for this haircut. Because if I use this as my guide, which is above the temple, to cut a straight line, I'm cutting quite a bit of face framing. She'll have a lot of face framing there. So I always take it easy when I'm pulling forward towards the face. As far as what I'm cutting, I'm just going to take it, I'm going to be really moderate about that. Because we can always detail the face framing. You see how much we're cutting off there? It's not very much. We can always detail the face framing after we blow dry, right? On straight hair. And especially because I'm going to be doing a smoothing system for her. It'll be nice and straight. So, I'm not going to overdo it with the face framing here. So be gentle with face framing. Or if you're not confident, blow dry it and do the face framing. Face framing, manually, you just pull it forward at like a 45. Right in between the eye and the neck there, and you can butterfly cut, you can overhand, whatever. But if we're talking like a true, you'll watch me do a true square layer on an adult head. It looks dope, but it's a lot of face framing. Okay, and after this, I'm gonna have one of you and Kenya do Jillian, because it's your intern day, do some pre-dry on her, and it's not a structured blow dry. This is for time. Yes, for dry, and she'll be a little bit of floofy when she's done. That's okay. Just want her dry so we can put her. Yes, ma'am. Just want her dry so I can put her color on. All right, and then there's your square layer. Okay, and
So
the
a true square is gonna have more heavy face framing.
oh my God, yeah. I'll have to show you on a doll head. It's gorgeous, but it's literally like from here to, it's a lot of face framing. And the more dense that their hair is and the shorter that it is, the more it can give the illusion of like mullet, you know? So, all right, someone want to turn my YouTube off, please, for me? Let me grab my phone.
Gosh.